Hey, what's going on, shrimp keepers? Just silencing my phone real quick before we get started. But how's everybody doing? How's the night going? I know we already got some questions in the chat. Um, Neon Tetra says, "I know I'm early, but I would hope that you read this first when you go live. When will you get orange-eyed blue tigers back in stock?" And so that's a great question. So we actually do have some. Whoa, Jeffrey Swanson is already in the house. Jeff is our employee that is the glue that holds Flip Aquatics together. So big shout out to Jeff. Platy Pen already in the house. Valley Fish here. Yeah, Jeff, I will see you tomorrow, my friend. We got a long week ahead of us. We're getting the second import in, which we're going to talk about a little bit today. But let me yeah, so we have a lot going on this week. We got just crazy amount of work to get done. The good thing is the new fish room is done. Thank you to Jeff and Marcus Aurelius or Aurelius. I always forget how to say it. Getting some Brits tea in me before we get started. We got Stormy Mist in the house. What's going on, Stormy? Stormy was the focus point of our last live stream. We were trying to get her to 100 subscribers. I believe Stormy's at like 118 now. Big shout out to her. I think she said she was 11. She's doing the YouTube thing, so that's awesome that she's growing and being able to share her little journey. And so I always think that's great. But we got Richard Huff in the house, Josh Cuesta, Jordan Leroy, Joel Gillot, AMA Aquatics or AMA Aquatics, Cichlid Dude. Just a lot of people, and we got Michael Hoffman in the house. I saw that. Dragon Shrimp, Yokin. Just a lot of great people. So thank you guys all for being here. But to get back to Neon Tetra's question, he asked it first for a reason. Is he wanted to know if we were going to have orange-eyed blue tigers back in stock. We actually have, I want to say, two or three we definitely have two breeding colonies of them. I want to say we have a third one, but I would really have to think about it. We have two breeding colonies for sure going. One is doing really well and has babies. The other one is doing really well. I believe they have babies. I haven't checked on them in a little while. I don't get to go through the shrimp room as much as I would like, but I believe they're both doing really well. So we will probably have them back in stock come our new website launch. So a lot of our stuff that's been out of stock, we're putting back in stock for our new website launch, which should happen, I want to say, sometime next week or the week after. It will definitely be live by the time we get our next import in, which is definitely going to be a focal point of tonight. So yeah, so we got a lot of good things going on. Cichlid Dude asked a question. He said, "Will you ever start selling any live bears?" That is a whole nother question. So we definitely breed the black chin live bears right now that we got from my man Jeff. Shout out to Jeff. His family gave them to us, and they are awesome. And I definitely plan on selling them in the near future. Another shout out to a couple people. We got Kang Lee in the house. We got Dwayne Kitchell. Excuse me. We got Rob Hicks Aquariums. A lot of great people in the house. Shout out to everyone that's here. If I didn't mention you, I'm glad you guys are here. Ken Nielsen says, "What do you have that breeds true?" So that is a deep question. So most shrimp are hybridized in one way or another. They're bred for certain colors, so that when you breed them, they don't always give you the right color or the quality that the adults might have. Some that do breed true, like tangerine tigers, crystal reds breed true. Most of your tiger shrimp will breed fairly true, except for like royal blues because they're a mix. Yeah, there's quite a few. Most shrimp will breed true to an extent, 80, 90% true, while some will breed 100% true. But yeah, that's a loaded question, Ken. Scrimp Life dropping a $2 super chat saying keep on scrimping. That's awesome. Kingley said, "How about those royal blue tigers, Rob?" Yeah, so the royal blue tigers, we're probably not going to put those back in stock because I'm still trying to build up the colonies. I want to say we have like 10 colonies going of royal blue or black tiger mixes, and we're really letting those go for a while because I don't want to oversell again because it really cost us dearly. And so, yeah, it's all going good. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, so here is the thing. We have a lot of great stuff going on. The import order, our huge shrimp import order. I don't even know the total. Actually, let me find out exactly how many shrimp we're getting, so I can tell you guys honestly how many we're getting in. I gotta look up my invoice. Um, I want to say we're getting close to 15,000 in, something like that. Let me see. Sorry, I didn't have this already for you guys. Dun, dun, dun. We are getting in how many shrimp? Oh, this doesn't even give me a total. Darn things. Yeah, I'm not gonna add all these up. It's too much. There's too much here. Let me see. Maybe this one does. Oh, okay, yeah. This has a total. So we're getting 13,910 shrimp in this next import order. So we will call it 14,000 shrimp. 2,000 of which are Caridina, and 12,000 are Neo Caridina. So definitely getting a lot of stuff in, which is going to be great. So I'm super excited about that, and I plan on definitely doing some good videos on it. Uh, yeah. So Mr. EMS, my name is Rob. Definitely Rob or Love Diesel. I'm phasing away from the Love Diesel thing though. Everyone's giving me a hard time about that, so I'm finally transitioning just to straight Flip Aquatics. Stormy Miss asks, is the new website going to be called www.flipaquatics.com? And what do you mean by true? Yes, so it is going to be flipaquatics.com. And what he means by true is if two things breed, they produce something that looks similar to the parents, and so that's called breeding true. If two things breed and then have something that's completely ugly, like if two swans breed and have a duck, then that's not breeding true. But if they have all swans, then that's breeding true. So that it. Ooh, it's starting to storm out. We have like severe storm warnings. So if my live stream completely cuts out, it's because we're in the midst of a major storm. Shout out to Justin, H2O Plants. Hey Rob, excited to see you this weekend. He said, I'm actually going to be hanging out with Justin, H2O Plants. Um, Hopefully, I think Dustin said he's going to come. He said that he could probably make it depending on how the setup goes, but I'm pretty sure he'll come. And then I'll also be hanging out with Joey, the king of DIY, is going to be there as well. And so that's going to be a great time. So we just have a lot of really cool things going on. Um, Lord Vader, how much does 15,000 shrimp cost? 15,000 shrimp costs a lot of money. Just put it that way. It definitely costs a lot. Oh, the lights just came on. See that? That's a crazy amount of shrimp, Jordan Leroy says. Yeah, it is definitely a crazy amount of shrimp. H2O Plant says drop the lease. Yeah, 15,000 shrimp costs so much. Flip Aquatics, when do you start breeding for profit? I just started keeping fish and shrimp 5 months ago, and I'm already dreaming big, but don't know your story, and I'm curious. So when do you start breeding for profit? So um, I don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that question. I'm not really sure what you mean by it. So the good thing is we're actually coming out with a how to breed shrimp for profit video series. A lot of people do how to breed fish for profit, and it's pretty much the same thing, but just centered around shrimp and kind of some things that we've learned, and hopefully we can share that with you guys. Because a lot of people that are in this hobby, they sell shrimp also because if you're breeding them, you might as well sell them so that you can pay for more shrimp. And that's kind of how I got into it, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same way. And so that's cool. And the import, man, it is gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. We're gonna do some things different this time. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from the first import, and so it's all about learning and figuring out the best way to do things. And I think we have a really good solution to a lot of our problems. We have a new fish room now, which I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but we just built a new fish room with 7 ponds, and it's close to 100 fish tanks, well, shrimp tanks, I guess. And so it's been absolutely crazy. Shout out again to Jeff and Mark for all that they've done to make that a reality. They put in so many hours this past week, just really making sure it was ready. And we have so much more to do this week because we are leaving for Reefapalooza on Friday morning, like real early, and we're going to be in New York all weekend. And then as soon as we get back, the import hits. And so it's just A lot of crazy stuff going on, but it's going to be so worth it. And I'm so excited just about the Reefa Palooza, hanging out with you guys. That's in New Jersey, real close to New York City. That's coming up this weekend. I think it's Saturday and Sunday. And it would just be cool hanging out. I'm bringing Jeff with me and one of my buddies, Ken. And so the good thing about that is all those people are going to be there. And so it's going to free me up to go around and hang out with you all, shoot some video with some people, connect with some vendors and things like that. So that's my big focus this time, is to connect with people opposed to just trying to sell stuff. And so it's going to be really good. But if you guys do want to come and hang out and meet me or meet Dustin, we definitely are both going to be there. Joey, the king of DIY, is going to be there too. So there's going to be a lot of people there. Justin's going to be there from H2O Plants. It's going to be a party. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see what else we got. Storms. Oh, storms in Ohio. Hottest day of the year in Scotland. Hey, shout out to Scotland, Jordan. I didn't know you were from Scotland. That's really cool. Me and my wife actually really want to make a trip out to Scotland. It's totally off topic, but we want to do it. She reads the Outlander books, and we watch the Outlander series, and so she really wants to go to that part of the world. And we want to visit our friend Nick Richards, who I don't think is here because he's got a crazy work schedule. But Nick came and visited us, and we definitely want to come out there and visit the UK because we get so much love from the UK. We really do. Anthony Pita said, at Flip Aquatics, do you have any experience treating chintinolytic bacteria disease / rust disease? Oh, okay. So I don't know how to pronounce that first word, but it's like this rust disease. It's basically a bacterial infection of the shell. And so definitely imported shrimp come in with it, and it looks like little spots all over their shell. And what it is the bacteria that actually eats through their shell and definitely could kill them. What happens is you treat it, and over the course of a month when they're molting, they should, as long as the bacterial infection didn't go too deep, they should just molt it off. And so how we treated that, Anthony, is you really have to be on top of your water changes and water quality. Make sure there's no ammonia, nitrates, nitrites. Just make sure the water is as clean as it can be. You can treat it with, if you pull the shrimp out and put it in a catch cup with, say, like 3 or 4 cups of water, and do, I want to say, 2 drops of hydrogen peroxide per cup of water, you'll start seeing it destroy the bacterial infection. Now, granted, you're not going to cure it until the shrimp molts, and it may even take up to 2 times before the shrimp completely molts the bacterial infection off. And I don't know if it spreads. Like if the shrimp molts it, if the bacterial infection is on there and the shrimp eat that mold, I don't know if it spreads. That's one question I haven't answered. I want to say it doesn't spread because I haven't seen it spread in the shrimp that we've gotten in. But then again, I really haven't, separated the shrimp and kept a super close eye on them. But I definitely don't think it spreads as long as you have good water quality. But that, Anthony, that is a great question because that's something that I really haven't even talked much about, just because really hobbyists shouldn't encounter it unless importers aren't doing their job right. And so I do need to do a video on it just because it's good to get that information out there. But that is a great question. So thank you for answering that. Yeah. So here's the thing, guys, with importing shrimp, and I'll answer some questions as I go through and read them. But with importing shrimp, like it isn't easy. It really isn't. Like this last import was, and I'm going to use the like basically what it comes down to is when you get an import in, you are completely married to that import. It dictates all your time, what you do, how long you're there. It gets your full attention. And so you are completely married to that import order. It is an absolute ton of work. And if you take one day off, you could lose everything. And so that's one thing I learned with this first order is it needs your undivided attention all the time. You cannot leave it. And so when I got my import order in last time, the next day, I went to Dustin's. It was like a Dustin's meetup, Dustin's Fish Tanks meetup, and Amanda and Jeff, mainly Amanda at that time, was taking care of the import order, and it was a ton of work. So I feel bad for putting that on her. Shout out to Ken. I just saw Ken in the house. Ken Carey. He is he's the guy that's always down there. He's the one that has the reef tank. So shout out to Ken. He said, "Yeah, I'm at the warehouse by myself, scared, shaking." Yeah, Ken, you don't want to be there when there's a storm. But yeah, so great question, Anthony, and we can touch more on that. Uh, Autumn Sky says, "What is the most exciting Caradina you will be getting in?" So that is a secret. So what we're gonna do is we decided every time we import until we like get a steady stream of imports, like we get more regular about it, we're gonna import one type of shrimp that is like our hype shrimp, something that isn't you normally don't see. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, maybe it's pretty rare. So different things like that. So we're gonna import, maybe one or two every import we get in, and so that's gonna be a secret. But great question. It'll be cool to show you guys on video what we get in. Oh, Ollie's in the house. Ollie Taylor, what's going on, man? He said, "What's up, shrimp fam?" Ollie, I need to get you that form. I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry. There's just so much going on. Like we had the in-laws in this weekend, and we're busy with that. Today's Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, and hopefully it was nice out you guys could go golfing or something like that. Or maybe your wife or your kids bought you a new shrimp tank, or maybe they're gonna order you some shrimp. I don't know. Maybe some Shrimp King Complete back here. You never know what you're gonna get, but hopefully you guys enjoyed your Father's Day. Joking JC Marley says, "Are you getting extreme blue bolts in on your import order?" So we are getting deep blue bolts in, which they don't sell extreme blue bolts. So I'm guessing the deep blue bolts are the extreme, but I'm not 100% sure. I've never got them before. I know they're expensive. They cost a lot of money, but my wife was persistent about getting them, so I got them for her. And so we definitely are getting some nice blue bolts in. I don't know if they're going to be extreme and how nice they're going to be, but I know that we paid enough that they should be pretty nice. And so that again, it's going to be so fun doing videos on this because we're getting some stuff in that we haven't got in before. What else we got going on? I know we got a super chat. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything else. Let me go down to that. Ollie Taylor, my buddy, always supporting us and dropping super chats and talking to me, sending me encouragement. Ollie is just a great guy. I want you all to know that he is honestly a great guy. There's a few people out there that are in the YouTube community that really pick me up, and he's one of those people that do that. So shout out to Ollie and Laura. I got to include Laura. Laura's his other half. Hey Rob, this is a payment for your time sending me the form in the near future. Want to get on this competition? I'm falling behind. This is a bed in central London for you and Amanda anytime you want to come. That is awesome, Ollie. Thank you for the invitation, man. I promise you, at some point in the future, we will take you up on that. I promise you that. Unless like something crazy happens that me and Amanda aren't here anymore. But as long as we're still here in the near future, we are taking you up on that for sure. I think that would be great. And we did get another super chat. Scrimp Life. I said, check out our channel. Finally putting up some content. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, Scrimp Life. I need to check out your channel too. So let me go ahead and flag that. And then I will have it pulled up to check out your stuff. So thank you for that, Scrimp Life. Really appreciate it. Oh no. Dwayne asking some good questions. I'll have to get to that. Let me scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any. Diz Sanguez says, lot white worms at my shrimp tank. Any idea? That tiny worm always hiding at the sponge filter. So, Piss, I'm going to interpret this a little bit. I'm guessing you're having white worms in your tank. I would have to know what they look like more. If they're kind of fat and they look like a miniature leech, then they're planaria. And those you do not want in your tank at all. You can use fenbendazole. Uh-oh. You guys see this? Oh, no, you can't see it. There's a child abduction alert in our county, so that's not good. But we'll have to... That's beside the point. So anyway, back on track. Hopefully the kid gets found. Yeah. Anyway, so the white worms. So they're either planaria, which would be really bad, and it could be detrimental to your shrimp tank, or they're detritus worms, which just live down in the substrate. They're little tiny things that they swirl around really quick. Those are not harmful whatsoever. They just live in your substrate. They're a part of most aquariums. Most everyone has them. Some people feed a little bit more, so they have more of them. But those aren't a problem. So if they look like a leech, if they're fat and slime, like kind of like a slug, if you know what a slug is, then those are no good. Paulus Lee Theon Thean says, "Awesome channel, bro. Thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate that. Um, you guys are awesome." Stormy Mist. I want to know how good Stormy Mist is doing on her channel now. I really hope she's doing good. I know a couple people. Ollie said, "Stormy Mist, watch some of your videos. You had some heartbreaking losses. Your poor dog in Bettis." Yeah, poor Stormy, man. She's had a bad go at it. Just a lot of things happened in her life. And if you guys don't know who Stormy is, if you're just tuning in, she's an 11-year-old that has a YouTube channel, and she is a huge follower of mine. Always commenting, always a part of the live streams. And so we're sending some love her way. And we did a big thing to get her to 100 subscribers, and now she's well over 100 and continuing to grow. So huge shout out to Stormy Mist. 2 words. Go check her out, and let's continue to grow the next generation of shrimp keepers or fish keepers. Bentley Pasco, or I want to say Pasco. When you guys import shrimp, how much attention do you pay to the water parameters of the sellers you're importing from? Can you give us a quick overview of that? So yeah, Bentley. So we pay extremely close attention to the parameters of where we're getting the shrimp from, and so that's where we really found out that Neocaridina like extremely hard water, and so they breed their shrimp in again, we don't know what they breed them in, because you don't know if the water they're sending is what they breed them in or just what they quarantine them in. And so again, it's still a flawed system that you don't know if it's working, but at least you want to match what they send them in so that the shrimp have the least amount of shrimp stress that they can. And so the Neocaridina is like extremely hard water. Anywhere between 10 GH to 15 GH, which is general hardness, and the KH was like 7, or between 5 and 7. So it was just some really hard water, and so we definitely paid attention to that. And then for the Caridine, it was extremely soft water, extremely soft. And so that is a great question. But yeah, we definitely pay pretty close attention to that. Lord Vader said the old Patrick Gain store and Coral Reef yourself. The old Patrick grain store and Coral Reef yourself. I'm not sure what that means, Lord Vader. Maybe you're talking to someone else. I don't know. I know I missed some more super chats. Let me find them. Here we go. Cost. Hey, Rob, I ordered some carbon release from you last week. Just wondering how I should go about paying for shipping. Love your channel. Yeah, cost. So first of all, thank you so much for the order. I've been meaning to get a hold of you. It's just been a crazy week. So I will actually get a hold of you either today or early tomorrow, and we will figure out all the details on that. We have to go through the warehouse and see what we have left and all that kind of stuff. But we will definitely get you taken care of and get some shrimp sent over to Canada for you. And I definitely want you to be part of the shrimp competition. I think that'd be great. So thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are been extremely generous, throughout this whole journey of YouTube, and I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you, Cost, and I promise you I will get a hold of you tomorrow, and we can hash out some details. DT Aquarium in the house. Shout out to Daryl. He said, let me find his first comment. He said, "What's up, Rob?" And then a lot of people getting all excited. And then he said, "Thank you all. I have some great news. Moving very soon, and I get my own shrimp room." Daryl, that's huge news, my friend. So should close within 30 days. So man, you guys just closed on that, or just got your offer accepted. You got a lot going on. You got to do an update video, man. We miss them. We know you're busy and you got a couple kids now. So happy Father's Day, by the way. But we definitely need some updates from you. I know when I was first into YouTube, Daryl, DET Aquariums, I saw one of his Planet Tank videos, and I was like, man, this guy's awesome. And then he got into shrimp, and he encouraged me to go farther into shrimp. And then he just got busy with life and everything else going on, so he kind of took a break from YouTube. But glad to see he's back in it. Dwayne Kitchell had a really, really good question. He said, "What will you do different this time as far as the import order goes?" And so I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. So with the import order, we are doing a lot different. So this last time we used the Planet Tank rack to house about 4,000 shrimp. And that rack with the temperature change and the water parameters and everything that goes into that rack, because it's all automated, it definitely didn't do well for the shrimp. Let me just put it that way. The shrimp on that rack did very poorly, and I did not sell them because they were doing so poorly. And so we salvaged as many shrimp as we could. We moved them. Um, we put them in more stable parameters. Excuse me. And so we were able to save some, but we had some heavy losses on that rack. And it wasn't because of what I thought it was. Like I thought at first it was because Geo went in the rack and maybe he had a sickness that started killing him off. But no, we had losses in every single system out there, and it really had to do with the temperature swings. Because Ohio temperature is crazy. I'm sure there's other states out there that have crazy temperature where one week it's 80 degrees and the next week it's 50. And so those temperature swings do not do well for shrimp that are already stressed out with being imported. And so that was a big learning curve. And so what I'm going to do different mainly this time is the reason I have two rooms is I'm going to have one room for an import. And as that one acclimates and it's ready to sell, I'm going to import again and have another room, which is the first breeding room that those shrimp are going in. And of course, I'm going to keep the ones that I really want to breed and things like that, the ones that I really enjoy. But to have two rooms and be able to go flip, flop, that's going to really help us out and ensure that we don't run out of shrimp ever again. And so that's our big learning lesson is we ran out of shrimp too quick, and so we had to import the right numbers, and we learned that. And there's just some good stuff that we got going on. Chris on BXL said, Rob, those red tigers crystals are amazing. Wish to see them in black. Yeah, so we actually did get them in black. We got black ones and red ones, and we imported a decent amount of each. I forget how many of each we imported. Let me check. It is definitely a decent amount. Let's see. We imported 200 of the reds and 150 of the blacks. I thought we imported 200 of the blacks. But yeah, so we have a lot coming in, which those are one of my favorites. So for sure, I'm happy that we're getting more in. Let's see. Caniday, I don't know. One of those. What's the fuss with special shrimp pH and hardness lowering substrates if they like above neutral pH and hardness? So, Neocaridina shrimp, which is like your cherry shrimp, prefer a higher pH and a higher hardness, whereas your caridina shrimp, like crystals and Taiwan bees, prefer a lower pH and a lower hardness. And so that's where you have buffering substrate, like Amazonia, any of your ADA soils, Brightwell, Fluvial Shrimp Stratum, which we use a ton, those substrates will help decrease the pH, and that's where you keep those shrimp at. So that's what they're talking about is that. Let's see what Ken said. Ken said, again, this was Ken from from my warehouse that has a saltwater tank. He said, yeah, if there's a tornado, I'm breaking into your basement. Yeah, come on down, Ken. I only live like 5 minutes away. You better hurry up, though, if there's a tornado. Ollie Taylor says, UK love, trying to start a bit of a community. If anyone wants to get onto an email chain to keep everyone updated, trade stock or tips, let me know. Might try and get a meeting up / speaking. So Ollie, that is a great idea. If anyone's from the UK, please reach out to Ollie Taylor. It's OLLIE space Taylor, TAYLOR. That's awesome that you're trying to build a little community in the UK. I think that's great. I know Nick will be a part of it, and so you already got some good followers there. And I will send as many people your way as I can because at the end of the day, my goal is to grow the shrimp hobby, and as long as I keep growing the shrimp hobby, then I am succeeding. Joaquin JC Marley said, "Can I put Galaxy Pintos and Blue Bolts together?" You definitely can. You absolutely 100% can. I want to see if Daryl commented further on that. I don't think he did. But anyway, any Taiwan bees you can put together and they can breed and you will have Taiwan bee babies. Now, I'm not too great at like Galaxy Pintos and their genetics. And if you breed them back to like a blue bolt, what the result will be because I haven't tried it yet. A good person to ask for that is Daryl, DT Aquarium, because he breeds more of the rare stuff and the stuff that's mixed patterns. Like he has the Galaxy Pintos that we had, and they went to a great home. And last I knew, one was buried, so they should be spin out babies anytime soon. And so I'll actually be having Daryl on a live stream here in the near future, and so we can talk more on genetics and how all that stuff works because I'm really interested. I'm really good at breeding like Neos, Tigers, Crystals, the basic Taiwan bees. But when it comes to genetics for the harder to keep stuff or the rare stuff, I really haven't dabbled in it because I've been spending so much time trying to grow this little hobby that we have with the beginner stuff that I kind of fell off and am not up to date with all the new stuff that's coming out. Uh, M Town Bound said, "How do you get rid of Daphne in a shrimp tank?" That's hard. I would say you just don't feed them type of food that they'll eat, and then eventually they'll just all die off. That will work. But yeah, I'm not really sure of a good way to do it. Maybe get, I don't know, if you don't have babies in the tank, you can get some like mid-level swimmers that have small mouths, like different types of rasboras, things like that. I wouldn't. Maybe like I keep them with celestial pearl danios, and they don't bother the shrimp too much. You can put some CPDs in there, and they would take care of the Daphne. I'm sure of it. The big ones you'd have to net out yourself, but all the little baby ones they would eat up, and that's how I would do that. Rob, will there be an update on Amanda's killifish you got her? Yeah, I could do an update on the killifish. They're actually doing really good. They should be breeding any moment now. We have 3 pairs in the same tank, so we need to separate them out. But we can definitely do an update on Amanda's tank here in the near future. And Amanda actually has a whole shrimp rack now, and so you guys will love seeing that. Karen PP, that is not how you say it, but that's kind of how I read it. It's Pepe. It's Peppe. It kind of sounds like PP. Sorry, but she asks, "What will you be bringing to the Reefa Palooza?" I make a fool out of myself without Amanda up here to keep me straight on my pronunciations or whatever it is, pronouncing things. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at it. But anyway, what am I bringing to the Reefa Palooza? So the thing is, we don't have very many shrimp left. Like the shrimp that we do have are USA bred, and to be honest, it's a reef show. Not too many people are going there to buy shrimp. Like very, very few, except for like people that watch me on here and know that I'm coming and want to get shrimp from us. So I am bringing. I'm gonna bring the reds. We have some really high end reds that I'm gonna bring in. I'll have a great deal on those. We'll probably bring some blue jellies. I'm thinking, and have fun with that, and just set up like 2 or 3 little tanks, and then have the shrimp in there. We're definitely gonna have the matin filters. We're gonna have some tank dividers that are matin filter material. We'll probably do some sponge filters, all the different shrimp foods that we offer. We'll probably do like all of the glass garden stuff, Bacteria E, remineralizer. So basically, just all the basics to keeping shrimp is what we'll have there. We'll have Indian almond leaves, and really, we're not going to go too heavy on the shrimp. At least not this show. If this show goes really, really well, then next year we'll go heavy on the shrimp. But this Reef of Palooza is mainly for me to connect with you guys and just have a good time hanging out, meet some great people, make some connections, eat some good food, enjoy the time away with my wife, and really just enjoy the trip. And so that's what I'm focusing on. This trip for me isn't about making money. It's about just getting away and just enjoying life, meeting some great people. And so that's a little tangent off of your question. Stormy Mist says, "What is a nice temperature for red really shrimp?" A great temperature for all Neocaridina shrimp, 72 degrees. It seems to be a temperature that has really worked for us, and it's not too hot that they reproduce or grow so quickly that they don't live short or they live short lives. So 72, they live good, healthy lives. They breed regularly, and the babies grow at a good rate. And so 72 just has always worked for us. Emily D said, "Love your channel. I'm thinking of raising shrimp in a ventilated greenhouse with decent temperature control. Any thoughts? 20-gallon tanks, sponge filters, correct water, air temp ranges between 60 and 85. My biggest thing is just controlling your temperature, especially with 20 gallons, because 20 gallons in a greenhouse could fluctuate rather quickly. If I was going to do a greenhouse, I'd probably go with like 40 gallons or link all of my 20 gallons together or link a couple of them together, maybe 3 20 gallons and have them share water. And that would help control the temperature a little bit more because there's more water volume. But I love the idea. And I've always wanted to do that because the sun brings out the best in shrimp. The algae that it grows is amazing for shrimp. So I think, Emily, you would have some great success breeding them in a greenhouse as long as you can control the temperature. Let's see what I missed. Stormy Mist. Rob, what are Galaxy Pintos? So Galaxy Pintos are these like little, they're actually these rare Taiwan bee shrimp that are created by mixing like tigers and crystals and going back and forth, back and forth. And oops. And they have a beautiful coloration on them. And so they're fairly rare. They're definitely still very expensive. That is for sure. Dwayne Kitchell says, "Folks, hit that like button." You tell him, Dwayne. Thank you for always supporting us. Really appreciate that. Let's see. So Ollie Taylor said, "At Stormy Mist, Galaxy Pintos are gorgeous Caradina, same family as crystals and Taiwan bees, but they have amazing patterns, and their carapace has its Galaxy Starlight pattern. That is for sure." Um, DT Aquarium says, depends what you define as issues. You will certainly dilute the Galaxy genes this way, but if you don't have space, then you don't have a huge option. Best option is to get a breeder box and selectively breed. So that's DT Aquarium's Daryl talking about mixing Galaxy Pintos with blue bolts, I'm guessing, and it will definitely kind of ruin the genetics and take away the stars. So that's good to know. Definitely good to know. So RSS Aquatics, that's your answer. Hopefully you saw that. Sergeant Tanks in the house. What's going on, Sergeant Tanks? Kenneth Carey, bringing coral. Nope, no coral. You leave it at the warehouse. DT Aquarium said mixed with all my other pintos, but the female galaxy has been buried for 3 weeks. So the female galaxy you got is soon to be be due with some babies. That's going to be exciting. So you better get that on video, Daryl. I want to see what she produces. And that's cool to know that you keep your galaxies with your other pintos, and hopefully there's no ill results with that. I don't think there would be, but it's good to find out. Neon Tetra Aquarius said, "So you hadn't fully answered me earlier, but that's all fine. So when will you get orange-eyed blue tigers back in stock?" The orange-eyed blue tigers will be back in stock when the new website launches, which should be within the next 2 weeks. So that is as clear as I could be with that answer, Neon. So hopefully that's good enough. Let's see what else we got. Daryl did said, yes, you can mix blue bolts and Galaxy Pintos. However, it depends on the goal of your breeding. For instance, I only have 2 aquariums set up before we move, so the Galaxy Pintos I received from Rob are mixed with his other Pintos. So that's the other part of his answer. Ollie Taylor said, is Amanda enjoying her UK chocolate? That's really different to US chocolate. So honestly, we've been so busy with her family getting in, she doesn't even know you sent her chocolate yet. I put it in the cabinet and she didn't know anything about it yet. I just completely forgot to tell her. And so as soon as I get off this live stream, I'll go down and I'll give it to her. I didn't even think about it, Ollie. But yeah, I really do appreciate that. I need to. You see, I'm due for a good shaving, so I'm gonna be using the the shaving kit you sent me. Thanks for that again. We did get a super chat from my buddy Nisi, who I need to send a shirt to. But before okay, I am all caught up. Let's see here. Nisi, shout out to you. Nisi, just so you all know, is one of the biggest sweethearts in the world. She is constantly promoting everyone's YouTube channel. She's really involved. She has her own YouTube channel, which if you guys go check that out, she has the sweetest voice you'd ever hear out of anyone besides my wife. I got to give my wife some love. My wife has the sweetest voice, but Nisi can be a second. And so she said, I just ordered the cherry starter pack. Let's see if I can get them to my favorite shade of red. Fish fam, hashtag shrimp fam, biggest Alaskan fan. So Nisi, I've never shipped to Alaska, so this is going to be good. So I'm really going to have to package these well because I know that's going to be a long journey. But yeah, Nisi, that is awesome. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for the order. I actually didn't even see it come in yet. So thank you so much. And again, huge shout out to Nisi. Matt P said, are there more chocolate shrimp in the next import? So no, there are unfortunately not any chocolate shrimp coming in the next import order. And the reason for it is we had really good success with the blues that we got in and also the blacks we got in. And so instead of getting multiple different types of shrimp like greens and blues and blacks and oranges and yellows and this color and that color and reallys, like we just decided to go with what really worked for us and what really did well, and the shrimp that I fell in love with and you all fell in love with. And so we just, instead of importing like 200 of each shrimp, we instead imported like 1,000 of one type of shrimp so that we have plenty to breed, plenty to sell, and we won't run out right away. So that's kind of how we structured that. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't get them again. It just means for the time being, definitely during the summer, we're only going to be importing the stuff that we know really did well for us as far as sales and also mainly as far as health. And so that's really what we were going off of. But again, huge shout out to Nisi. Thank you so much for that. And we did get another super chat. Unholy orders. I think I missed your Snapchat or your super chat, not Snapchat. Jeez, wrong platform. But unholy orders. I think I missed your super chat last week. Either it was on Wednesday or last Sunday, and I really do apologize for that if I did miss it. I know I missed somebody's, and I felt bad for it. So huge shout out to Unholy Orders. He says, "What up, Rob? Have a good one, dude." Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Goon Fuss. Is it possible that my tap water is too hard for Neos? pH reading about 8 and TDS around 330. I've had a few deaths wondering if it's cause of the water, if it's because of the water. So Goon, I would say unless it's hard for me to tell unless I know what your GH is and what your KH is. It's possible that your KH is too high because a really, really high KH is what would cause your pH to be skyrocketing up into the eights. And that's probably not a good thing because most people breed Neocaridina between 7.4 and 7.6, somewhere in there, maybe up to 7.8. So like 8, anything above 8 is pretty hard. And that usually is because of a high KH. So if you could get your KH down, you would be in really good shape. But again, I can't tell without knowing your numbers. So like your TDS of 330 is not ridiculously high by any means. Like some of our tanks, well, not some of our tanks, but we know of people that breed cherry shrimp successfully in like a TDS of 680 or whatever it is, 660. And it all comes down to what makes up that TDS because TDS all really stands for is total dissolved solids. So it's measuring what's in the water. And unless we know how much GH you have and how much KH you have, we really don't know what else is in the water. Stormy says, "Now I want Galaxies. Thanks a lot." Galaxies are so expensive. I want to say they're like anywhere between $100 to $200 a piece, maybe even more for really high-end ones. So, Stormy, you better start saving up, and then you can get some. Or probably when you turn like 13, they'll probably be cheap. So just hold out for a little bit longer. Alohana Tusky said, "How does everyone count their shrimp? I just got 10, and they're all hiding everywhere." Yeah, so the best way to count your shrimp is what I do, is I feed them, and then while they're eating, I will count as many as I can see, and then like if I count 50, then I always add another 10 to 20%. So if I count 50, I'm going to say there's probably 58 in there or something like that. And so whatever you see, there's always more of them. Terry Blake, my buddy, said, "Hey Rob, here with the family. Can you give Kira and her cousin Finley a shout out?" So, Kira, what's going on? Good to see you again. And I hope to meet you guys very soon because Terry is in town and he's going to come by the warehouse here sometime this week. So, that's going to be really cool. So, Kira and Finley, shout out to both of you. Hopefully, you both can come hang out at the warehouse, see some shrimp. And it would be great to meet you guys. And we can even get you on a video so you guys can be sitting up here with me. And that would be awesome. So, I'll look forward to that, and me and your dad and your uncle, whichever one it would be, we'll have to figure that out. So Terry, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. You are always supporting us, and I owe you some more shrimp. I know I do. So thank you for that, Terry. Fanatics Aquatics says, "I'm Andrew. I started a channel called Fanatics Aquatics. Only 2 videos out there so far. The first serious video is how to set up a cherry shrimp breeding tank, inspired by you. Fanatics, thank you for that. I'm glad that you got inspired by me. We need more shrimp channels out there. We got me, we got like Lucas Bratz, we got Mark Shrimp Tanks, we got DET Aquarium. But to have more people involved is always good. And so I would love to see more people get into it. So Andrew, my only advice to you is don't give up. just keep on going. It took me like, oh my gosh, 3 or 4 years until I really started finding my groove and finding what I was good at and doing what I love and chasing after it. And so it takes time. So it's so easy for people to give up. So just find joy in it, find passion in it, and build a family around you like I've done. Because I have some amazing people around me that support me every single day, and that's you guys. All right. So let's make sure I didn't miss anything. I know I missed something, so sorry about that, guys. I don't want to forget another super chat because I felt terrible when I realized I forgot something. But yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Shout out to you guys. So anyway, I did want to touch on a few things. First of all, this live stream is titled "Shrimp Import Order Breeding Competition in New Shrimp Room," and so I have to, absolutely have to, talk about the new shrimp order, which we have been. I need to talk about the shrimp competition, which I have not touched on in a little while. So, the Lumpy Dog in the house. What's going on, Lumpy Dog? But we are doing a Flip Aquatics shrimp breeding contest. It's going to start, or I officially thought it was going to start beginning of July, but what happened is I ran out of shrimp. And so some people weren't able to enter the contest. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually going to open it up for people to buy pre-order shrimp from the new import order coming in, and then enter those shrimp into the competition because the competition is 6 months long. And so, granted, they'll be a little bit behind, but if they do everything right, then they can catch right up. And so that opens it up for more people to be involved. And we really want as many people to be involved as we can get. I want to say right now we have about 40 total. And some of those are Caridina and some of those are Neo Caridina. So we are definitely opening it up, and it's going to be a really, really good time. But yeah, so shrimp competition is going to be great. I'll talk more about it. I just saw another question. Emily D said, I can answer the Sawastan question. Mine tends to go rather slow. It does not attach to anything, but just sort of sits there. Shrimp do love it. Yeah, so the Sawastan, the only thing it's ever attached to for me is a sponge filter because it actually grows into the sponge filter. So you can get it to attach to like a sponge or something like that to where it can actually grow into, but it doesn't have roots. So it really won't attach to things. It just kind of sits on top of things. But it is an amazing plant. Greg Jones in the house. Shout out to Greg Jones. He said, hey, Rob, how long is your warehouse lease? Curious because of how much time and money invested in the new shrimp room. Keep it up. Looks great. Yeah, so I have a 3-year lease that's up in September. I have the option to extend for another 3 years, which I don't know if I'm going to do. I renegotiate with them and got a really good rate for 3 more years, which is definitely an option. But I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long we're going to sign on for. But we definitely have the option to sign on because the warehouse that we're in really is not in a great location. It wouldn't be a good storefront. There's a very small niche of companies that would ever even use it. So my landlord is kind of stuck with me because no one else would ever rent it. You guys like my light? I just realized it was there. This is like this is like the oldest light. I don't even remember how we got it. I want to say they left it in the house, but I just realized that. This is so funny. Whatever. Man is gonna kill me because when we got that light, she's like, "That thing is hideous." Oh, I remember how I got it now. My grandma had a storage unit. She has like all these storage units that they rent out. I want to say they have 3 buildings and rent out the storage units in them. And she had a storage unit that the guy didn't pay, right? And so they got it or whatever. And so she's just like, go through it and anything you want, you take. And I was like, man, that's a cool light. I want that. And then Amanda saw it and she's just like, she's like, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. So here it is up in my office, providing me with great lighting to make videos for you all. You just have to put up with like this little thingy right there. It's all good. That's hilarious. So, yeah, the shrimp contest. You gotta sign up for it. So excited. Corey from Aquarium Co-op is in it, which I'm really glad Corey's in it. I really wanted Bob to be in it, but I think Bob's too busy. I'm gonna try to get Dustin from Dustin's Fish Tanks involved in it. because he has a ton of tanks out in the greenhouse. So it's nothing for him to throw 20 shrimp in a tank and see what happens over 6 months. So hopefully we'll get Dustin in on it. And then the new news, I think I'm going to get Aqua Pros in it. Aqua Pros, shout out to him. He's just an awesome guy, Mike. So definitely check out his channel. But yeah, so me and Mike are doing some big things. So really excited to have him a part of it. Hopefully, I'm really trying to get him in it. I think it would be great to have him involved. He would bring some good energy to the mix. So let's see. I know there's some questions out there. If you guys have questions about the shrimp contest, I know there's some people getting into it from out of the country that are ordering shrimp in, and so that's been cool. But it's mainly just the United States, and so we definitely want people to be a part of it because it's gonna be fun. It's just community building. Like it's not to make money. There's really like any money that we do bring in is going right back out to the winners. So there's no money to be made. It's literally just a competition to see how the shrimp are doing from the import order, to have fun, build a community, build a little family, ask questions, see how people are doing, and it's just going to be a good time. So I'm really excited about it. Catherine Kennedy said, "Do you sell your calls? I would just like to get some shrimp for my tanks." Catherine, yes. If you send me an email right now, rob@flipaquatics.com, and Flip Aquatics is in my YouTube name, so you can find it there. But rob@flipaquatics.com and say that you're interested in buying cold shrimp. I would more than happy sell you some cold shrimp just to get you some shrimp to start getting to be a part of our community. So definitely. Let's see here. You know what makes it easy on me? If you guys have good questions and want to ask them, it's always good to tag me in them. And that way I can just instantly see your questions because they highlight in red whenever you guys tag my name. And that would be at Flip Aquatics Love Diesel. For most of you, it should auto-generate when you do add Flip Aquatics. But yeah, definitely keep me involved or keep me tagged in your posts because it makes it so easy for me to find your questions and answer them. And definitely do a shout out to you guys. So I really appreciate that. Jordan Leroy said, "Keep the beard, Rob. You like the beard, so grow it out." All famous shrimp keepers have a huge beard. At least I'm pretty sure, except for Nicholas. Nicholas, the one that judged our shrimp competition in the United States last year, he doesn't have a beard. He's clean shaven, but he is European though, and that's a whole different breed of men. That's Ollie. He knows all about it. What else we got? So, we get a drink of water. My voice is starting to hurt. So, the shrimp competition, we got a lot of people signed up for it, which is really good. I want to say it's over 40 now. I haven't actually done the official count. I need to do that. And we're going to be setting up the Facebook group here very shortly. As soon as we get the import order in, like everything's going to get so much easier and it's going to slow down. And then it will just be about taking care of shrimp opposed to like getting things ready for shrimp. And so it's going to be really good to get things in a good mix and get a routine going and not be in construction mode, but be in shrimp keeping mode because that's something that I really enjoy doing and I miss doing because I haven't done as much construction as like Jeff and them, but I've done enough. I give them all the credit though. Anyway, the new shrimp room it is awesome, guys. I can't wait to show you videos on how to do things. The biggest question mark we have is we really don't know if breeding shrimp in ponds or keeping shrimp in ponds is going to work. No one's really done it. Like maybe people have thrown shrimp in ponds outside, but no one's actually kept shrimp in ponds inside in mass quantities, in volume, and been able to see how it worked. I know a buddy that tried doing it. He had a huge trough, and it didn't really work out. He got some bacteria in the water and killed all the shrimp. And so it'll be really interesting. Thomas Crap, what did you say? Dwayne had to delete. Dwayne's on top of it, deleting messages. And Thomas Kraft isn't the guy that says bad things. So that'll be funny. Anyway, My admins are on top of it. You moderators are beasts. But the new shrimp room, the ponds are really going to be an experiment for us. There's something that's either going to be like, oh my gosh, this worked amazing, or oh my gosh, that was a huge mistake. And I'm really not sure which one it's going to be yet. I'm leaning towards huge success and so happy that we did it. But you don't really know until you do it. And that's the bad thing about being the first person to do it is because so much could go wrong. But so that's going to be a fun journey for you guys to watch because you guys will definitely learn from my mistakes. That's for sure. Fanatics Aquatics says, when will black tigers be back in stock? I really want to pick some up for the shrimp competition. Will they inbreed with Neocaridina? So they definitely will not inbreed with Neocaridina. All tiger shrimp are Caridina species, or Caridina genus, which means that they will not interbreed with Neocaridina genus. So that's good to know. They will probably put some back in stock when we open the new website. So all the new products that we have that we're putting out there, the shrimp brooder, different things like that, we are not putting up on the old website. We're waiting until we release the new website, and then it's just gonna kind of have a fresh look to it. It's gonna have new products. We'll probably do like I was thinking about doing like what Corey does for Corey from Aquarium Cobb, what he does for holidays like Christmas, and I think he did one on Easter too, where he live streams for 8 hours. I was thinking about doing an 8 hour live stream when we open our website and just doing some specials on different shrimp and stuff. I think that would be really cool. And then I could talk you guys through it. And like every 30 minutes, we'd have a different special, like whether it's a Blue Dream starter pack or if it's a Black Rose starter pack or if it's shrimp food or if it's this, that, or the other. So I was really thinking about doing that. So let me know if you guys like that idea. It would be exhausting to do. Amanda would have to agree to watch the shrimp for me because that's when the import would be in. But I think it would be. I think it'd be a really cool idea. It'd be crazy talking in front of a camera for 8 hours. Like that would be insane. And so you guys will have to ask some really good questions. Maybe I'll even get Corey to do it with me. That would be fun. Maybe I'll talk him into doing it for like 2 hours and then get someone else in here for 2 hours. And then we'd always have like new blood in the mix that we could ask questions to. But oh my gosh, that would be exhausting. I don't know how he does it. Like I tell you what, after our hour and a half live streams with you all, oh my goodness, like my voice hurts, like I'm exhausted. I'm ready to like just chill, not talk anymore. And so I can't even imagine an 8 hour live stream. But what's your guys' thought on that? We got Catastic saying, smash that like button. Thank you, Cat. Always appreciate the shout outs and people trying to help out. Jordan Leroy said LRB over wintered oranges. I know, isn't that crazy? He did heat the pond though. He kept that baby heated at least. I want to say I forget what he told me, but he definitely kept it heated. Dwayne Kitchell said, Rob, my big question about the new room is what is Mark putting in the display tank? That is a secret. You can find a hint in the video. If you pay close enough attention, you can find a hint. That's all I'm going to say. DM Aqua said, Lup, when did you get those little statues? Oh, somebody did notice these guys. They're right here. So check this out. So here's the deal. So this is really funny. So they have these little figurines, right? These are crystal reds. They said there's only 200 sets. I heard 500, then I had 200. So I'm really not sure which one it is. But I know there's a limited quantity of these guys. Amanda really, really wanted them. And so what I did is I didn't import. I went with another buddy of mine, and we did an order of them. We got 10 sets in. So I have one set that is Amanda's, or Amanda and mine, and we're keeping it. It's kind of just like a collector's thing of the crystal reds, and they're going to come out with some different color variations, and so we're going to start collecting them. And then I had 4 sets left over. 2 of them, I didn't want to sell any of them. I have to be honest. I really didn't want to sell any of them. I just wanted to keep them in the box, and then 15 years from now, I could sell them. But my man Nick Richards was in town, and he really wanted them, so I sold a set to him. And then I was like, well, if you're going back to UK, like you might as well ask Ollie. Oh, I shouldn't say anything. But you might as well ask Ollie and Ollie didn't want them, so I didn't sell any to him. But I do have those, and they're awesome. And yeah, so anyway, I do have like I think I have 2 sets left, but I really, really do not want to sell them. Maybe I was thinking about giving one set away for like a contest prize, and then the other set I don't know. I might just keep it. Who knows? So me and Amanda could both have one. Yeah. Dwayne Kitchell did not ban Thomas Kraft. He just deleted his comment. Sorry, Rob. I didn't think I said anything bad. It was a beard comment. Oh, that makes sense. I didn't get it either. So that's funny. So we were talking about shaving my beard, and Thomas said show some skin, and he meant like shaving the beard, and then that would be showing some skin. But when you say shows some skin, it could be a questionable remark. So that's funny. Uh, Rob, if I buy shrimp from the next import, what are your thoughts on mixing it with the first import shrimp I bought? Yes or no? I always get scared mixing shrimp, whether it's from the same source or not. Like, if you bought them from me and they were USA bred shrimp and I knew they came from the same colony, I would say for sure. But I know that my importer has 3 different farms. He tries to stay with the same farm for every order, but sometimes they run out of stuff and then he goes to his second farm. Sometimes they run out and he goes to the third farm. And so you really don't know if the shrimp are coming from the same exact source. So it could introduce something bad to the tank. I would say the odds are in your favor. Like, I would say 75% sure they would be okay, but 25% sure that they wouldn't be okay. And is it worth the risk? I don't know. It depends on how they're doing for you. If they're breeding, I would say just leave them alone. If they haven't bred yet and they're kind of just stagnant, then there's not too much to lose by putting them in there, because really they shouldn't kill each other. Like, it's very rare for shrimp to like introduce a new shrimp and then that shrimp have some bacteria that kills the other one. It's rare that it happens, but it happens. So I would say 25% sure that something would go wrong. So it's up to you. It's up to you, Kingly. I'll let you make the decision, but that's my honest to God opinion. So I don't want to sugarcoat anything. DM Aqua said 8-hour live stream is an awesome idea in my opinion. So I think it's an awesome idea too. I really would enjoy it. My voice would be dead by the end of it because I get excited and I talk a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that. You're in my live stream, so most likely you did notice it, because once I get on like a tangent, I just keep on going. Yeah, Ollie, I'm really glad you didn't buy those figurines. That would have been a huge mistake, my friend. Just a lot of money going down the drain. But yeah, so anyway, I'm bad. April Shaw. April, thank you so much for your order. The Michelins are doing great. She said thank you. You are so welcome, April. Thank you for letting me know that they're doing good. Thank you for the unboxing video. You are awesome for that. And just giving us so much positive feedback. We really appreciate it. Jordan Leroy said, thanks for putting us onto Bacteria E. You are welcome, Jordan. I'm glad you love the Bacteria E. That is my #1 favorite food of all time. We ran out of it again. Figure that. But we ordered early enough that our package is actually getting here tomorrow for more Bacteria E. So we're only out of stock for like, I don't know, a week. So last time we were out of stock for like 3 months. It was brutal. Bacteria E is one thing I never want to be out of stock of, because we use it so much in our breeding room. And so we never want to lose it. But it does happen. Yep, we're not perfect. Sabine Cat. We'll just say Sabine. No, I'm going to try it. It's Katsavrias. Katsavriasa. Katsavrisa. I don't know. But Sabrine, thank you so much for the comment. She said, or he said, never kept a shrimp. Planning on getting 5 shrimp tanks small. Got a guy lined up on my continent to buy shrimp from. What's the biggest, most important starter advice you have? Sabine, that is an awesome question. Thank you for asking it. So what is the biggest, most important starter advice I could ever give someone? And it is this: consistency. Consistency and consistency. If you are going to get into the shrimp hobby, there's one thing you need to have, and it is consistency. And the second one is patience. So you need to be patient and consistent all at the same time. Most people, like, this was me too. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. When I first got into shrimp, I would get shrimp in the mail, and boy, you bet your bottom dollar, I wanted to get them in a shrimp like that, like, or in a tank like that. Like, oh, I'm so excited! I want to see them in the water. This is so cool. Cost me. It definitely cost me. It hurt the shrimp. It wasn't good for them. So be patient in acclimating. Be patient in putting them in the tank. Once they're in the tank, don't like always be checking on them. Don't be lifting up the ornaments and making sure they're there. Just let them go. Just trust in the process. Give them a month, see how they're doing. If you have a few deaths in the first month, don't freak out about it, because shrimp, sometimes they ship them old. Like imported shrimp are sometimes old, right? Because they're full grown adults. You don't know how old they are. So sometimes you get them and they croak right away, or they croak a week in, or 3 weeks in. So the first month you're gonna have deaths. Just know that up front. So don't start changing a bunch of things, because the most important thing you can do for your shrimp is be consistent. Like, consistency, whatever it is, shrimp will get used to it as long as you keep it consistent. And so if something's really going wrong, then after a month, if you're still getting crazy die off, then you need to adjust something. But for the most part, consistency and patience are the biggest advice I can give to any beginner. And so that is an amazing question. Thank you so much for asking it. And I really need to redo some of the old videos that I've done and kind of restate some of my opinions on what are the most important factors for breeding shrimp. What's the best way for this? What's the best way for that? And so, great question. Tim Jack said, do the long shot with rotating guests. That would be cool. I don't know what that means. Maybe that wasn't directed to me. I'm not really sure. Jordan Leroy said, excited for Mark's tank. Yeah, so Mark, the guy that got his tool stolen, if you guys saw that video, he did so much work on our warehouse and the new breeding room that he talked me into letting him have his own display tank in the shrimp room, and I'm letting him pick everything out for it. He is definitely going to take care of it. I'm sure I'll be the one responsible for feeding it and probably doing water changes, but I want him to be, solely responsible for it, because it will be his tank. And so he said eventually he wants to take it home. But right now he doesn't have room for it. And so he's going to do something really cool in there. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to have that type of tank around. I think it's going to be really, really cool. And so, yeah, so I'm excited for Mark's tank too. Let's see what else we got. Again, if you guys are tagging me in your comments, it makes it so much easier for me to read them. SSJ Char said, I have read using a low dose of hydrogen peroxide in your tank for 5 days will cure a bacterial infection. Have you ever tried this? Yeah. So I actually used to do this all the time. Yeah, I would actually use a high dose. I'm not, we got so many tanks that I want to say that I'm not precise. Like, I'm not as thorough as I could be. And so when we get a bacterial infection, I literally take a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, like a big one, like, a whole handful, this big or whatever, like, huge. And I would take that and I would literally just squirt a big gump of it in there. Honestly, I was probably dosing like a milliliter per 2 gallons. Like, it was a lot. And that's how I would cure bacterial infections. Because you got to think, hydrogen peroxide is made to kill bacteria. Like, that's the whole purpose of it. The only bad thing about it is it will kill beneficial bacteria too. So it will kill bacteria that's in your filter and things like that. And I learned this the hard way, is I've recycled a tank because I killed the biological filtration and kill all the shrimp to result from that, which wasn't good. So my biggest advice to you, if you're going to use hydrogen peroxide to treat a bacterial infection, take the shrimp out of the tank, put it in a catch cup. For 3-4 cups of water, you do 5, 6, maybe 2 drops per cup of water. That's pretty good advice. And treat it for a couple days, and by the end of those, it will most likely be good. Sometimes it dies just because the bacterial infection was too much, but that is definitely a way to save shrimp. So if you have a tank of 20 shrimp, then it is definitely worth trying to save that one that has a bacterial infection, because bacterial infections in shrimp is a very, very bad thing. It can spread very quickly, and so to get it under control right away is very important. Also, whenever you do have a bacterial infection, you need to find the root cause of it. Is it planaria? Is it hydra? Is it poor water quality? And as soon as you pinpoint the cause, you can really create the solution. But hydrogen peroxide is a solution for a problem that already exists, but it's not a solution for the problem that's causing the bacterial infection. Jason Grace said, "Hey Rob, what does Lub Diesel mean?" So Lub Diesel was a nickname that I was given in college. I actually played college football for a little bit of time, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot about myself. I learned what I love and what I hate, and so I'm always that guy that goes 110% all the time. And if I'm not going to give it my all, I'm not going to do it. And so we were playing football, and I was on scout team because I was a freshman, and we had we, we had some seniors and stuff. We were running scout team kickoff for them, and so they're on kickoff return. So they get the ball and they start running down the field. And anytime in my past, whenever you run scout team, like you don't hit people, like you don't want to hurt your own team. And so I'm running down the field and I see this guy coming towards me. So like I slow up to let this guy like come up to me and hit me with his hands and like let me know that he was going to tackle me because again you don't want to hurt people. But nope, this dude literally laid me out. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever somebody just lays you out and cheap shots you, like you're not expecting it, and you went to be nice to them, and they do that, it kind of ticks you off. So, needless to say, I got pretty mad, and then it was just like I was gonna kill somebody. So we run 3 plays for scout team. So I get all jacked up, like I'm furious, and I don't get mad often. So the next play, I am sprinting down the field as hard and as fast as I can, and I see this kid, and he sees me, he starts coming towards me, and I just wrecked his world. Like because I'm pretty short, like I'm 5'9", and he was like 6'4", and so it's easy for me to get under him. And having 220 pounds, sprinting as fast as they can, full momentum, and lower than you, you're gonna get wrecked. So I completely knocked him on his back, and everyone started like cheering on the sidelines. And so then he got mad because he wasn't really expecting me to do that, especially after the first play. And then we have 1 play left, and now we both are extremely like furious with each other, like ready to kill one another. And so now this next play, we're not even worried about where the ball is going. We're just looking for each other. And so we're running as hard as we can, and we both get as low as we can, and I get a little bit lower than him. My helmet hits him in the chin strap, and his head flicks back, knocked unconscious. And it didn't do me well either because I was kind of loopy afterwards. So he gets completely knocked out. And then I just walk off the field like I don't want anyone to know that I'm messed up. So like I just walk off the field like nothing even happened. I'm just like nothing, not even hurt. And so with that being said, my last name is Lupton, and it's spelled the beginning of it is Lup. And so anyway, all my buddies that were freshmen at the time started calling me Lup Diesel because it's like Lupton and Vin Diesel, because Vin Diesel's like this big tank dude and he's short. And so they all start calling me Lup Diesel because of that play. And I ended up getting a concussion as well as him, and we both were out for 2 weeks. So it wasn't something that benefited either one of us. But I do have to say that I beat him. So I hang that over his head still to this day. but it was a bad decision all the way around. But yeah, so good question on that. And when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't plan on making videos, so it was just my nickname was just Lup Diesel, and then it kind of just stuck. Funny question though. Drew Meir said, "For shrimp, should I go subwater tank or Java Mus? I have a 5-gallon fluval spec that I'm going to have 3 amanos in and a colony. Is 5 shrimp enough to start for breeding?" Drew, I would always start with 10 shrimp if able. Because it's a 5-gallon, I'd probably go with 8 shrimp because it's a little bit less. You don't have as big of a tank. So 8 shrimp is what I would go with. Would I do subwater tank or Java Moss? That's a tough one. Java Moss is better at having beneficial microorganisms living in it because it has more of a surface area to it. Not surface area, but it has more nooks and crannies. Whereas subwater tank has more surface area, but it doesn't have as many nooks and crannies. But personally, I like subwater tank better. So that's probably what I would do. Java Moss is great, But Washer Tang is just, I mean, it's just so cool. You just don't see it in freshwater too often. Not very many people are able to propagate it. It's such a slow grower. It needs tons of time to take off. And so I would go with Washer Tang just because it's a little bit more rare and it looks great. Jordan Leroy said, "What time is it in Ohio? I want to catch more of them." It is 7:45 currently in Ohio. It might be. Let's see exactly. Yeah, it's 7:45 exactly. And yep. Let's see what else we got. Ollie Taylor said, "As soon as we used Bacteria E, the pinnos got buried instantly." Great stuff. So that's great to hear, Ollie. So Ollie had great success with the Bacteria E as well. So again, that's a product that I highly recommend. Jordan Leroy said, "What?" So I don't even know what the what was about. That was probably a while ago. Oh, he said, "Oops, sorry." He said, "Meant to ask what time is it in Ohio so I can catch more live streams." Yeah, so we live stream at 6:30, which was an hour and 15 minutes ago. So every single Sunday at 6:30 we live stream unless something catastrophic happens. Whoa. Aquarium Co-op, Corey, the man, the myth, and the legend in house right now. I am honored to have the Corey Aquarium Co-op in the house. So Corey from Aquarium Co-op actually live streams in 14 minutes right after my live stream. And so we'll all get to check him out. I'll be listening to it, but I won't be in chat. I have to go to the warehouse and feed everything. But I'll definitely have it pulled up. I know he always has something really good planned. And so definitely go check him out a little bit later. What else did he say? So Corey from Aquarium Co-op, he said, "Move your mic up a bit on your face, getting some." Oh, good call. Why doesn't anyone tell me that they're getting breathing noises? You jackwagons. Yeah, thank you, Corey. Appreciate you telling me. I don't want to. I don't want to be breathing in everyone's ear. Let me get another water. My throat hurts really bad for some reason. But yes, so Tang is an extremely slow grower, but it's so worth it. Such a beautiful plant. Shout out to Corey Aquarium Co-op again because we just did a video. He posted it on, I want to say Thursday or Friday. Maybe it was even Saturday. I don't know. He posted it recently though, and it was me and Corey shooting a video, and it was like some of the tips I told him, like going through like cherry shrimp and sakuras and fire reds and painted fire reds. What's the difference? Are they different lines or what are they? And we went through what Michelin's were, and it was just it was a really fun video. I really appreciated him making that and putting it out there. And Corey's just always been a great supporter of mine, and always much love to Corey. And I love seeing him succeed because it's always good when good people get good results. And so again, huge shout out to Aquarium Co-op. Definitely go check him out. It's his live streams are every Sunday from 8 Eastern time to 10 Eastern time. Which is like 5 to 7 his time, something like that, West Coast time. But yeah, DM Aqua said Amanos can kill young Caridina and Neos. Yeah, so they definitely could. They're little vicious creatures, and their legs are so strong. So I definitely wouldn't put that past them. I've never seen it personally, but I can definitely foresee it happening based on how strong they are. Because listen, Amana shrimp are so strong with their legs that you can drop them out of the water and they literally start running. It's crazy. We're like shrimp, like the shrimp that we keep, like the Neocaridina and the Caridina. If you drop them on the floor, unless there's water, they can't move. If there isn't water, they literally just. I need a mint. They literally just sit still. They just turn on their side. So that takes a strong little guy. Aquarium Co-op said one of the most recent streams, community tanks. Oh, so Corey is doing a live stream tonight on community fish tanks, talking about, I'm guessing, just the basic community tank, what fish you can put in it, what fish go together, the types of fish you need, bottom dwellers, what you need for algae eaters. So that'll be a really interesting stream. I really haven't seen a community fish tank video before, so that's really cool that he's doing that. People said they saw the video that Corey posted and they said it was really good. So I'm glad to hear the feedback on that. Stormy missed it at 6:48 p.m. here in Tennessee, I'm guessing. I think you're from Tennessee. Oh no, Texas. So 6:48 in Texas. That doesn't make sense. Texas is only an hour behind. Huh. Beats me. What else we got? So we got 10 minutes left. What questions you guys got for me? Dwayne Kitchell, always showing the love, always yelling at everybody to hit the like button. I appreciate that, Dwayne. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Whoa, we broke 100 likes. Look at that. You guys coming up strong today. Much love. But yeah, so the import order, it actually, I don't think I told you guys when it actually arrives. It arrives next Wednesday. It's not this Wednesday coming up, a week from Wednesday. So we have a little bit of time left to finish that, which means I have a little bit of time to finish the website and get that up and going. So it's just, it's going to be a hustle, but it will be well worth it. Sabine said, found you via watching Corey's channel. Loved the tours. That's so great. Thank you so much, Sabine. Glad you came over. Really do appreciate you guys subscribing and being part of the little shrimp fam that we're building. GLE TV said, where is it? I just missed it. Oh, can cherry shrimp be with goldfish? Short answer, no. Goldfish would devour any cherry shrimp. And goldfish also produce a ton of ammonia, which would be terrible for any type of shrimp. So I would say goldfish and cherry shrimp probably will never ever go together. And if you like really take the craziest measures, I could see you pulling it off. But would it be easy? Nope. It would be very hard. Neon Tetra said, I've literally had a mono shrimp climb out of their net and back into the tank. I've honestly had that happen as well. Shrimp Man said, $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's awesome and very generous of you. He said, how can someone start importing their own shrimp? So the best thing to do, my honest advice, is if you wanted to start importing shrimp, I would try to find a transshipper and go through them because it's going to be a lot cheaper. There's a lot less involved in it. You know, they take some of the risk off your hands for you. But oh, that's funny, Tim Jack. Sorry, that's really funny. But anyway, yeah. So importing. So I would highly suggest just going through a transshipper or someone else that has an import license. If you wanted to do it yourself, it is a extremely long process. So what you do is you apply with Wildlife Fish and Game. You get your certificate from them, and you have to meet all the qualifications. You have to, once you get approved in that, you have to sign up for all your appropriate importing material. You have to make sure you have $500,000 import bond. You need to coordinate with Wildlife Fish and Game when you're going to be importing. You have to fill out all the forms and have them ready. You have to meet them, make sure they're scheduled to look at your package, make sure you let them know 48 hours out that the package is arriving at X time, and they have all the flight details, and then they inspect it, they clear it, customs has to clear it, and so it has to be cleared 2 times, and then on top of all that, you have to go pick it up. So I'm telling you, it is a long, crappy process that costs a decent amount of money. But if you're really serious about it, then it's worth it. And like, you know, like me, like if I wasn't importing shrimp, I would literally have no shrimp to sell, which would really hurt the hobby. And so that's the whole reason I import, and that's the only reason I import. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't, but I really have to. And so that's just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, great question, and thank you so much for the super chat. And if you have more questions, feel free to ask me. Oh, it's been so good. DM Aqua said, high grade blue bolts in the next import order. And are we going to get a list of the Instagram? Are we going to get a list on the Instagram like last time? Yeah. So I have to ask Amanda if she's willing to do a list for me because she's the Instagram like genius. So I let her handle all that. She's been really busy with work lately, so hasn't been on Instagram as much. See you later, Corey from Aquarium Co-op. He said he's going to go get ready for his stream, so we'll be sure to go check that out. But yeah, so we're definitely getting high-grade blue bolts in. I don't know how nice they're going to be because I haven't gotten them before, but they should be pretty nice. So we'll definitely be getting those in. I know I missed a question up above. Tim Jack said, "Lup Diesel, why are you calling my family out? Jacked up Jack Wagons." So Tim Jack's last name is Jack. Jack Wagons. It was actually in a commercial. I want to say that it was like an Arby's commercial where they called somebody a Jack Wagon. And ever since then, I've always called people Jack Wagons. I just think it's so funny. And it's like when I use like when I call people names, I always try to use like little kid names, like you butthole or something like that. Just something that isn't offensive. It's just funny. And so Jack Wagon, I always use that because it shouldn't be offensive. If it did offend somebody, I'm sorry, but it shouldn't be. It's getting sunny outside, so I guess it's not raining anymore. That's always good. Lil B 87 said, "When is the safest time of the year for shipments from Ohio?" The safest time of the year is probably spring and fall, just because the temperature is awesome. But we also guarantee our shipments all year round. So for the shrimp safety, it's fall and spring. But for your safety, we always guarantee that they'll make it alive, and if they don't, we'll send you more. So it's very rare when shrimp actually die during shipping. We've done a good job at perfecting the way that we ship, and we're still getting better. Jordan Leroy said, "Got my first shrimp thanks to you. That tank got me through my UNI exams." Yeah, good for you, Jordan. I'm glad you got a shrimp tank, man. I'm always happy to inspire people to get shrimp tanks because they've really helped me a lot, and when I can share that love and have other people get helped as well, that's really good. Charles Fish Tank said, "You going to the Refill Palooza? I'm going with a friend." Charles, I will be there. Please come say hi to me and say, "Hey, I'm Charles Fish Tanks." Then I'll know exactly who you are. So please, please, please come hang out with me and say something. I'd really appreciate that. I'm really excited to meet a lot of people. Really, really looking forward to it. Let's see. Oh, Sabine, it's Monday morning for you. Happy Monday. Hopefully it's a good Monday or Monday. Stormy Mist, you're never going to import? Come on, girl. You don't know where you're going in life. You're only 11, right? You got so much longer. You might be the biggest shrimp kingpin in all of the world when you grow up. You just never know. Fanatics Aquatics says, "What is the best buffering soil for bee shrimp and crystal shrimp? Also, how long to wait before shrimp can go in?" For crystals, my favorite shrimp substrate is fluval shrimp stratum, just because it's so easy to get in the United States. If you're not in the United States, there's so many more options, and I don't know what the best is for you guys. I just know what's best for the U.S. Crystal Reds is fluval shrimp stratum, because that's what I use, and I have had great, great, great results with it. As far as bee shrimp, like your Taiwan bees, I would go with like ADA Amazonia. Brightwell seems to be working pretty good for us. Other than that, I really haven't tried any of the other ones. I know Shrimp King sells a substrate. There's a couple other substrates out there, but I would stick with what works, and I know for a fact ADA Amazonia works. If you use that, it takes a little over a month to cycle. That's the only bad thing. And there's other things out there that you can add shrimp right away. You know how they always say that. But a lot of the substrates do leach some ammonia, at least for a little while. So if I could, I would wait a month, and I would keep your light on as long as possible, get some good algae going, some good biofilm, and I think you had some great results with that. But it is 8 o'clock, or it's really close to. So we're going to head over to Aquarium Co-op's live stream. Corey, you guys could find that link. One of my moderators might be able to put in the chat. But definitely go check out Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Check out his live stream. Much love from me to you guys. I hope you guys are excited about the import order as I am, and the shrimp breeding contest and the new shrimp room. There's so much great stuff going on. But Ollie, you better get to bed. Nisi, shout out to you. Thomas Kraft, everybody that was here. Much love to you guys. Make it a great week, and I will talk with you all soon.